Hey everyone, happy, what day is it? Wednesday. I am here with the lovely Tarah Green, and I finally got to meet her in the flesh. We were just talking about how I was trying to figure out how we met each other on Facebook.
Yeah, I think that we have a mutual friend, Logan Hart.
Yes, we do. Hey Logan.
Hello, Logan. Yeah, thanks for
connecting all the fellow voluntarists or anarchists or whatever label you subscribe to.
Yeah, it might have been through Logan, and he has helped me connect with a lot of other voluntarist anarchist women because
I love it.
It's easy to connect with men in that movement. There are so many.
There's a lot.
But and there has to be the women, but I think just to have to have that connection is really nice. Like those who have found
I
sense of
totally
freedom.
agree.
Yeah.
And so I'm super excited to connect with you on multiple levels because we're in her cool little, you can't see it very well, but we'll take you on a little tour. What do you call this? Like your house on wheels?
Yeah, I call it my box van or the icebox.
The icebox. Don't ask what happens in the icebox.
Yeah, it's pretty well insulated, so even though it's summer, like it stays pretty cold in here. And then also in the winter, when I was in North Idaho where there was 10 feet of snow, it was really cold, so it's an icebox year round. Like,
oh my god. So you do have like a little stove in here?
Yeah, I built this wood stove with my father out of scrap metal that we salvaged from the dump. And then I designed this little thing on the front of it. It's like an Ouroboros, but it's also a salamander because salamanders represent fire.
Wow. This is so cool. So what brought you to like this place of inspiration where you're like, I must do this project?
Oh, I had been thinking about it for quite some time. I think like as part of my journey and awakening towards freedom and anarchism and voluntarism, I saw myself like chained to paying rent each month and having all of these things that I had to upkeep. And it was really great for a while because I got to be on land and grow a lot of gardens and practice permaculture. But ultimately, in healing my personal relationships as well, like relationship dynamics with men,
lots of that.
This was like a really liberating step where I built my bunk to be only 30 inches and it's short too, so only I fit in my bunk.
I love it.
Yeah.
So it was built with purpose.
It was built with purpose for freedom and like cultivating my personal sovereignty and just having my needs met wherever I go, always having like being able to take care of myself, taking personal responsibility for putting a roof over my head, and then being able to just go because I want to connect with other people who are activists and like on this path of awakening and learn and grow and share what I learned. So I was envisioning this for quite some time because I thought that could allow me to do that. And I lived in an intentional community for a while right before this, and this has now allowed me to go and connect with many other intentional communities and so many people who are actually living in freedom and like taking steps to really get sovereign and like actually act with voluntary actions towards each other, collaborating, and
And for those who, because I know I do have like lots of people and my friends who may or may not know what true anarchism is, it really means that you get to live your life however you want as long as you're not harming another human being, which is actually quite simple at its like finest. Like it's pretty simple. So how did you, or what is that what embodies freedom for you, is just being able to live your life and not have anyone put their hands on you?
Yeah, it's definitely that, like anarchy meaning and the prefix meaning without, and archy being archons or rulers, without rulers. And that applies not just to me not having rulers, but me also not ruling and dominating and controlling others. And I think like my favorite way of describing freedom would be in harmony with nature.
Well, and we were just talking about this. Nature innately, and all of us, I believe, innately are anarchists. We're born anarchists. We just forgot. And then we're manipulated through society and culture to believe that it's like our right to defend the truth and tell other people how we think that they should live their lives.
Yeah.
And I think for me, like, as going on like this journey to waking up to what I had been told was true my whole life, and then realizing that most everything I've been taught is a lie, to feeling angry and upset about it, to thinking I need to tell everybody about how it really is, to now I'm kind of like, oh, I need to just embody that.
Yeah.
And that will emanate and ripple out much quicker than me trying to spread my truth.
Yeah, exactly. Like, be the change you want to see in the world and lead by example. And yeah, that's part of this life, like living in my van and this box van, is just embodying it in another way, because it doesn't really work to try to tell other people, like, hey, wake up. But they will see us shining our light. Like, they'll be like, wow, I have so many people come and talk to me because of my box van. They'll just, like, think it looks cool and want to come talk to me, or see me doing one of my weirdo freedom things,
like growing plants.
Like growing plants, yeah. Or like I've been cooking my meals on a stove that I made out of recycled cans.
Valerie.
And
we're gonna give you on a little tour of her box van in a minute, but it's super cool. I mean, I admire this so much. It takes a lot to put together a project like this, for one, and then actually have the courage to travel around and do it on your own. Because it is like a huge shift, like figuring out, oh, I got to go take a shower here, and I got to park this somewhere, and all of these different things. But it's also like so much freedom, because you don't have to worry about going back to take care of something or paying your rent.
Yeah, exactly. And the government still gets me with having to pay tabs and like insurance, but hey,
well,
it's
there
a
you
lot
go.
different
It's a lot
than
less
paying
though.
Rent every month for sure, and then I'm a little bit dependent on fossil fuels with gas, but there are so many ways that I've been able to live so much more freely and in harmony with nature through this.
I love it. Well, and I think it's starting, I don't want to call it a trend, but I think it's an awakening. It's inspiring other people in a movement of, like you said, self-ownership. And that's what I'm really passionate about, is really inspiring. I used to call it teaching, but I don't really like the word teaching. I think we're here to inspire ourselves, and if we inspire other people along the way, fucking great.
Yeah.
So I really love inspiring people through my own life to take ownership of every area of their lives, which to me is your health, your wealth, your freedom, and your happiness. And it looks like you're doing all of those.
Doing my best. Yeah.
Well, we're always doing our best. And
yeah.
so should we take them on a little tour?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's see. Hey, Janina. So let's see if I can get this up without... Okay. I can't change the view, so I'm going to turn it around. There we go.
So this is my bunk, and
Here, I'll get back further so I can see
I
better.
have a little portal underneath here where I can crawl.
I love it, a portal.
Yeah, portal. And I have like shelving and food storage and my closet and things under there, and then I have my massive bookshelf, which is one of the difficult things about living in a box van, is being like someone who loves wisdom and knowledge. I have so many books.
I love
and they
it.
go flying off my shelf.
Oh no!
when I
Oh, you'll
drive.
have to create. Maybe like there's like little latches you could create to hold them in or something.
Little ropes, and I've been roping them up and.
You get you a handyman to build you something.
Yeah, and so I have these windows in the sides. They weren't here originally because this used to be a trauma scene cleanup vehicle, and it was just basically a box. And so I cut the holes in the windows, and there's wheel wells under here, and this is my cat Lilith.
Oh.
She travels with me. Wheel wells are under here, so there's this box built out over it, but this opens, and then I have my my Terra Preta composting toilet system under here.
Nice.
Which I can tell you more about later. And this this countertop with more storage, and then here's my little wood stove, which it's not being used until winter, but it's like a rocket stove where it gets ventilation up through the bottom, and has these little vents on the side to give it kind of a reburn to make it more efficient. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. I have a medicine cabinet behind you.
Oh wow.
I keep all my essential oils and herbs and
Nice.
things. Yeah.
And so, like, when you were putting this together, did you have a budget, or what were you working off of?
Yeah, I was trying to do this as like with the least amount of Federal Reserve notes as possible.
I love it. The proper term, Federal Reserve notes.
So the van itself, I got a great deal on. I had a prophetic dream about it the night before. I found it on Craigslist. I dreamed about the symbols that are on the side of it, and it was $1,500.
What?
Yeah, and then like of course I've done a lot of work, and it took a lot of energy and labor, but I've been able to do it mostly trading, like through trade and barter and salvaging scrap material.
Wow.
Yeah. So I have this little front porch area, and
move back a little bit so you can see.
Keep my cooler, and I have a solar system. I have some solar panels mounted on the ceiling, and my little battery and things here. And this roll-up door is fully functional. So
oh my God, that's so awesome!
It's kind of hidden and more secure.
So did your dad help you put all this together?
He did. He helped me with the first basic, like getting it functional. He helped me build this wall, and we got this door out of a free pile at the dump. Super happy about that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And so these are the symbols that you saw in your vision.
There is the Sacred Trinity here, the recycling symbol.
Yes.
And it's like this dual of like feminine energy and care over here with the green, and then you have this red caduceus.
So this was already on it. That is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I think the front of it's pretty cute too.
Yeah, and I mean the best part is that you're not having to have a whole nother vehicle to like pull it around.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And I have running water right outside my door whenever I put it
right?
in the river. And so
in the beautiful Ashland, Oregon.
Yeah, in Ashland. It's a great place for van life. You can see there's people living out of other vehicles. Like here's an ambulance someone's living out of. There was a really cool school bus parked in front of me the other day. And this little river spot is so nice. We were talking about water earlier, and like the structured water, and like how that even absorbs into our body. I've been natural bathing since I've been living in my van. I just jump in a cold stream.
I love it.
Yeah.
You got your cold shower in and nature at the same time.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yes. It's really nice out here.
And so tell me more about like you're a musician as well, right?
Yeah.
So do you go touring, or where are you traveling to?
Yeah, so I play guitar and sing, and I play violin. And
oh my God, violin.
Yeah, I recently wrote a song about anarchy and agorism and like these voluntary.
Oh, I think I watched. That was the one. I think you sent it to me, and I watched it. Yeah.
And so I recently got to travel a bit to share that song, as well as like the messages that go with it about getting back in touch with nature and permaculture, growing gardens. So I went out to Fort Wayne, Indiana, and got to meet up with Rowan Green, who is someone I met at Anarchapulco. And he organized a really amazing Earth Week event there, and I played a concert there and spoke at their Black Swamp Permaculture Convergence.
Wow.
And my next stop is going to be near Austin, Texas, at an event called Independent Minds, happening 4th of July.
Very cool. That's so
Yeah.
exciting to be able to travel to all these events and meet so many cool people.
It really is so much fun. And to be able to be sharing like a message that I'm really passionate about.
Yeah. And so is that what you feel like you're here to do, is travel around and inspire people to basically live free and embrace everything about themselves?
Yeah, pretty much. I feel really strongly that my purpose here is to do more good than harm, and cultivate freedom and share that message and shine it, like, so that others can see it and learn how to do it.
I love it. Well, it's just like we were talking about earlier. It's not about you going around and telling people what you think you've discovered as your personal truth. It's about you just living your truth, and those who are attracted to it will be inspired by it. So
yeah, and it's part of an experiment too, because we're rediscovering freedom. Like,
right,
we've been so brainwashed and born into something so removed from freedom that it's been a process and a journey of discovering it. And part of my traveling around is just allowing me to observe others and see what works, see what doesn't work, what's attracted to what I'm attracted to, and trying different things and figuring it out, cultivating freedom.
So what do you have any recommendations for people who are thinking about doing something similar to what you have created for yourself?
Yeah, my biggest recommendation is do it now. Don't wait.
Yes.
Just do it now. I started traveling and I just felt so called to doing it. I was living in a Subaru for a while, and I don't recommend doing that because it's really uncomfortable. I recommend getting something tall enough where you can do yoga and actually reach your arms up, because that's going to be so much better for your well-being.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool, I love it. Well, maybe we get some parting shots of these awesome symbols. I still am like awestruck that you had this amazing vision and showed up with these two awesome symbols.
Yeah.
That's super cool. Well, thank you all for joining us. And is there a special place where they can reach you besides Facebook?
Yeah, find me at my website, omensofalchemy.com, and on Instagram, Omens of Alchemy, Facebook, Omens of Alchemy, and on minds.com, which is an alternative, decentralized social media platform that doesn't sell all of our information like Facebook does.
Ooh, maybe you could share links to all these in the comments, because I love sharing stuff like this. Like a bunch of that you mentioned I don't even know about.
Okay,
so, cool. Well, thank you for joining us, and thank you so much for sharing your beautiful journey with us. This is super cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Have a happy Wednesday, everyone.